celebration. Thank our veterans for attending today's celebration, and most importantly, for serving our nation. We are delighted that Dr. Tim Trainer, President, Mount St. Mary's University, Dr. Brad Young, County Council President, Mr. Dean Rose, Vice President of the Board of Education, Ms. Ray Gallagher, Mr. Jason Johnson, and Ms. Karen Yoho, members of the Board of Education, as well as our veterans could attend. At this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the marching band playing our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In 1921, an unknown World War I American soldier was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. This site, on a hillside overlooking the Potomac River and the city of Washington, D.C., became the focal point of reverence for America's veterans. Similar ceremonies had occurred earlier in England and France, where an unknown soldier was buried in each nation's highest place of honor, Westminster Abbey and the Arc de Triomphe. These memorial gestures took place on November 11th, giving universal recognition to the end of World War I at 11 a.m. November 11th, 1918. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. This day became known as Armistice Day. In 1926, Armistice Day officially received its name through a congressional resolution. It became a national holiday in 1938 by a congressional act. If the idealist had been wars, November 11th might act still be called Armistice Day. However, less than 4 years after the holiday was proclaimed, war broke out in Europe. 16.5 million Americans took part in World War II. 407,000 died in service, and more than 292,000 in battle. Veterans Day was first celebrated as Veterans Day in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. Raymond Weeks, a World War II veteran, organized National Veterans Day. On November 11th, in 1954, Congress passed a bill and President Eisenhower signed it, November 11th as Veterans Day. Currently, there are over 24 million veterans who have served in the United States Armed Forces who have returned to civilian life in our society. Today, we thank and honor all those who have served honorably in the military, in wartime or peacetime. Veterans Day is intended to their service, to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all who have served, not just those who have died, have sacrificed and done their duty. In this light, we would like to thank and recognize our veterans. We will play the Armed Forces Medley. We ask that veterans stand when their birthday song is played.
United States Army. United States Marine Corps. United States Navy. United States. United States Coast Guard. Today we have veterans present who have served in every decade since World War II. We ask all of our veterans to stand at this time so we can recognize you collectively for your service. In addition, we recognize the faculty and staff who have served as well as our Guardian Memorial alumni who are serving our veterans. past 80 years. Today we are honored to have Dr. Tim Trainer, President of Mount St. Mary's University, with us to deliver our keynote address. Retired Brigadier General Tim Trainer most recently served as Dean and Chief Academic Officer at West Point, before retiring after a 33-year career in the Army. Dr. Trainer graduated with a Bachelor of Science from the United States Military Academy in 1983, has an MBA from the Fuqua School of Business at Duke, and a PhD in Industrial Engineering from North Carolina State University. As an engineer officer in the U.S. Army, Dr. Trainer served in operational assignments around the world, including Germany, Honduras, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Riley, Kansas, and Sarajevo, Bosnia. He was deployed to Basra, Iraq in the summer of 2007 and worked with the UK, led provincial reconstruction team in helping the provincial Iraq leaders to improve their infrastructure revitalization plans. Dr. Trainer is a fellow of the American Society of Engineering Management and was named the Engineering Manager of the Year for 2011 by the Society. He is the past president of the Epsilon Mu Eta, the National Engineering Management Society. Dr. Trainer taught courses in engineering management, systems engineering, and decision analysis. Dr. Trainer is married to Colonel Donna Brazil, PhD, who led the psychology program at West Point until 2013, and now provides educational services and leadership development. Their daughter, Major Corey Trainer, is an engineer in the Army's Corps of Engineers. Son, Dan Trainer, after an 8-year career as an Army helicopter pilot, is currently studying at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Their youngest son, Captain Zach Trainer, is a military intelligence officer in the 3rd Special Forces Group at Fort Liberty, North Carolina. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Tim Trainer.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to see you all here, and I'd like to start by thanking Ed Schroeder, Oakdale High School leadership, and the wonderful students of Oakdale who have helped put this event together today. Thank you very much. You all did a great job. As a veteran, I'm grateful to the people of our great nation for recognizing the work and the sacrifice of veterans and their families, not just on Veterans Day, but year-round. You know, as you heard in my bio, my family's kind of Army-centric. And I was fortunate and glad to be in the Army for 33 years because the Army, like all the services, provide great opportunities to serve in a variety of ways and truly be all you can be. I served as an engineer doing construction in my early days in the Army in different places around the world. My wife served as a logistics specialist for 30 years before retiring and now does executive education and coaching. Our daughter now serves as an Army engineer. Another son was an infantry officer and now he's in military intelligence. And our other son was a Black Hawk pilot for 8 years before leaving service and is now in graduate school, paid for by the GI Bill he earned while serving. We all had unique paths for serving in the Army in many places around the world, and were provided opportunities for further education paid for by the Army. The Army slogan is "Be all you can be," and it is a great place to start, as are all the services. As you know, today marks the 105th anniversary of Armistice Day, which occurred on November 11th, 1918. The call was to be the war to end all wars, according to President Woodrow Wilson. History has proven otherwise, unfortunately. Veterans Day recognizes and honors the service of our nation's veterans. Today, we remember those who have served and those who are still serving in our nation's military, a special group of Americans to whom we owe a great debt and whose service has guaranteed the freedom of our nation since our birth in 1776. A group of Americans with few resources or training who stood up valiantly to tyranny in spite of the overwhelming odds of facing the professional British Army, to win us the freedom we so cherish today. Today we remember our American military members who valiantly fought for our independence. We remember the hundreds of thousands who have died on the fields in Gettysburg, in the trenches in France during World War I, on the beaches of Normandy and the deserts of Africa during World War II. We remember our family members and friends who have fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. While we are no longer at war as a nation, I ask you to remember those still serving in many places around the world to secure our freedom. Throughout our country's existence, our American veterans have served the U.S., have put their lives on the line, and when called upon, have sacrificed their lives for the rights each and every one of us enjoys today. Whenever and wherever the nation has made the call, our veterans have stepped up to do what needs to be done. Throughout countless conflicts, they have been there for us, and in times of peace and prosperity, they have remained there, in the background, always ready. Our veterans have proudly carried the torch of liberty for all to see. Back in 1919, President Woodrow Wilson declared the first remembrance of Armistice Day to mark the commemoration of the hostilities in World War I that occurred on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Different countries around the world joined in this commemoration, calling the 11th of November Armistice Day, Remembrance Day, and the Day of Peace. On that day, the world offered its silence to honor the 20 million soldiers that died during 4 years of war. My mother's father, Cy Stagg, a Green Mountain boy from Vermont, served in the American Expeditionary Force during World War I. I still have letters written by Private Stagg that speak of his experience in the trenches on the front lines in France and being gassed by the Germans who lobbed artillery shells filled with mustard gas, often at Allied lines. Now, since this is a school learning event, I'd like to mention books. A few years ago, I read a book titled A Hobbit, a Wardrobe, and a Great War, written by Joseph LeConte. Can anybody recall where the word Hobbit comes from? Hobbit? Lord of the Rings. You're right, Lord of the Rings, and J.R.R. Tolkien wrote it. How about a wardrobe? Where does that come from? You got it. Yes, the wardrobe refers to the book, The Chronicles of Narnia, written by C.S. Lewis. Now, J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, both very well-renowned authors, served in the trenches as soldiers in World War I. And this book discussed how the life-changing experience of their service influenced greatly their writings. World War I changed the course of history and had a tremendous impact on many aspects of life, including literature for generations that continue today. In 2002, I was fortunate to serve in the war-torn country of Bosnia-Herzegovina on November 11th. I attended a very moving ceremony recognizing Remembrance Day conducted by our British comrades. A whole generation of young men in England was devastated during World War I. So this day is truly celebrated as a day of solemn remembrance in England and other countries. With time, America expanded the meaning of this day to include all our veterans, not just those fallen during World War I. President Eisenhower in 1954 put this into public law, recognizing November 11th as a day to honor veterans. So today we recognize and honor not just those who have fought for us throughout our country's history, we recognize, maybe even with more passion, those who at this very moment continue to protect our nation and fight against terrorism, against those who seek to change our commitment to freedom. Veterans Day is extremely important. The military of the United States is a force made up entirely of volunteers. Now, students, if you lived in many other countries now, you would soon be forced to serve in their military. In America, our military men and women, over 1 million of them, are volunteers, and are not motivated by their paychecks. There's lots of out there. They are not attracted by a comfortable, safe, and easy job, as those serving in harm's way around the world can tell you. Instead, each and every one of our military members is motivated daily by a sense of higher purpose and by a job that, when done well, resounds past the salary, filling instead a need to do our civic and sacred duty. These are the rewards our veterans also get when they help battle wildfires and serve those in need after hurricanes here at home and in places like Puerto Rico. These are the rewards they get when their job ensures the people they love and care for are protected. As you heard in the bio, I finished my Army career by having the honor of serving for 6 years as the Dean and Chief Academic Officer at the United States Military Academy at West Point. There, I was so impressed by the current generation of young people, your peers, who chose to step up and answer the call to serve our country in the military. They are part of a select group today of 1% of our population who serve in the armed forces. I was proud that these young people chose to serve while we were a nation at war, volunteering despite knowing they would be serving in harm's way after graduation. Our democracy depends on the willingness of its finest men and women to step forward and to serve, to dedicate themselves to a greater cause, the cause of protecting our democracy. For more than 2 centuries, the veterans of our nation have been willing to serve and to sacrifice for our country and a cause they love more than their own lives. This has not changed. I was very happy to see upon my arrival at St. Mary's University that it has a beautiful veterans walkway where we prominently fly the American flag, along with the flags of the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard. We also have the names of Mount graduates who served in uniform in our nation's wars since World War I, etched in stone or bricks. At Mount St. Mary's, we are also very proud of our ranking as among the best colleges for veterans in the Northeast region of 200 colleges and universities in that category. So now, I challenge you, students, to commit yourselves to preparing academically and through leadership and service opportunities to be ready to lead our nation in the future, whether in uniform or not. We need people who can think critically and creatively, who can think on their own and not be distracted or influenced by loud and demonstrative rhetoric that is discriminatory and filled with hate. You develop these critical thinking and creative problem-solving skills by applying yourself in school, by reading and engaging in intellectual exercise and discourse with teachers, parents, friends, and peers. Being able to rationally think through the tough issues of our times and develop effective solutions that can be equitably implemented to the benefit of society is what we need you to do in the future. We need you to develop your intellect so one day you lead our nation in peace and growing prosperity for our citizens. Intellect alone is not enough. You need to use it to benefit others. Do this by challenging yourself now through leadership opportunities in your school, church, teams, and community. I always thought it was an honor and privilege to be put into leadership positions in the Army, and I'm truly blessed now to be trusted to lead Mount St. Mary's University as its 26th president. As you take on leadership positions, seek to be a servant leader who is there to help those you lead be better. One of the ways we practice leadership now is to take part in service projects around school and in the community. The sense of purpose and accomplishment you get from helping others is rewarding. At the Mount, our mission is about helping people lead lives of significance in service to God and others. You don't need to wear a military uniform to serve. You can make a tremendous difference by serving others in many different ways. Helping to organize and implement a service project is one great way to get leadership experience in high school. It also looks good on college resumes, trust me. So as we get ready to commemorate Veterans Day, what can you do to honor our veterans who don't wear a military uniform anymore? Please remember that they have done their duty and that they and their families have made countless sacrifices for all. When someone leaves military service, many find ways to continue to serve. In the Army, we call our veterans soldiers for life. Those who leave reluctantly put away their military uniforms, and some continue to serve our country as teachers, while others continue to protect us and keep us safe here at home as police officers and emergency responders. These veterans continue to serve our nation as citizens, and we owe them our consideration, our respect, and our thanks. So please, honor our veterans, thanking them not just with your words, but with your actions. Thank our veterans by taking advantage of all the rights they have secured with their blood, the rights they continue to defend every day. You may not be able to vote yet. I encourage you to register when first eligible. Veterans secured that right for you, so pay them back by exercising your hard-won right to participate in our democracy by voting. Take the opportunity to live your lives well, to be good sons and daughters, good students, good friends, and good citizens. That is the thanks we Americans owe our veterans, a humble gesture of gratitude from a very grateful nation. If you have a relative or a neighbor who is a veteran, I ask you to please thank them this week. Fly the American flag proudly outside your home and on future Veterans Days. But most importantly, take time this week to remember why you are free to attend such a great school, to read and say what you think, to practice the religion you choose or no religion. Veterans have secured those rights since 1776 through their service, and some by sacrificing their lives for the ideals that make our nation great. Thanks for your attention, and God bless the USA.
Thank you, Dr. Trainer. We appreciate your insights. At this time, Sophia Angel, Landon Radnar, Ariel Tempe, and Josh Townsend will sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, America, my home, sweet home.
While Veterans Day honors all those who have served today, we cannot forget those who are missing in action or who died in defense of our nation. If you look to the right-hand side of the stage, you will see the small table set for one.
This table is our way of acknowledging those members of our proud profession of arms who are missing from our midst. They are those killed in action, prisoners of war, and those that are listed as missing in action. We call them brothers and sisters. They are unable to be with us this morning, so we remember them through the many symbols at this table.
intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. This single rose in the vase reminds us of those families and loved ones of our comrades in arms so fallen.
The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of a red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their underlying determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing.
A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. The salt symbolic of their tears, theirs and ours.
The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. The chair is empty. They are not here.
Remember all of you who served with them and called them comrade, who depended upon their might and aid, and relied upon them, for they have not forgotten you.
At this time, the Oakdale High School Choir, under the direction of Miss Jacqueline Grimm, will sing Vera Lynn's World War II classic, We'll Meet Again.
We'll meet again, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just as you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again, don't know where, but I know we'll meet again some sunny, no, we'll meet again some sunny, no, we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again.
Dr. Ed Stringer will now offer a few remarks.
Good morning. I would like to start today where I've ended the past 2 years. Roger Thomas, thank you for your service. Roger Thomas was present at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. He was a Pearl Harbor survivor, and he gave me my Pearl Harbor pin. He lived in Frederick, Maryland for 20 years before his death in 2007. Today, I want to preserve the memory of another World War II veteran, my uncle, Martin A. Maleg. Marty died at the age of 97 in September of this year. He was 18 when he was drafted. He was 18 when he arrived in Germany. He was 18 when Germany surrendered on May 7th, 1945. He never talked about his service. In fact, like many veterans, he was dismissive of his service. As the poet W.H. Auden states in The Unknown Citizen, when there was peace, he was for peace. When there was war, he went. No fanfare, just the resolute determination to do one's duty. While there is much to mourn in Marty Maleg's passing, there is much to celebrate. He worked as a personnel director for several companies and for several nonprofits in New Jersey. When he turned 90 in 2016, my aunt started sending Christmas cards to the cardiovascular surgeon who performed his triple bypass in 1977. Marty had 46 borrowed years. He rode his bicycle, he played tennis, he stocked shelves at the Perth Amboy Food Pantry. He delivered Meals on Wheels, and he brought communion to disabled veterans at the Menlo Park Veterans Home well into his 90s until COVID curtailed these activities. He continued to serve. He continued to serve his fellow veterans, his community, his country, and he was always dismissive of his service. Martin A. Maleg, thank you for your service. Today I want to thank another veteran for his service, and he is very much alive, he is very much present, and he is very much responsible for our Veterans Day program. Thank you, Dr. Traynor. In 2017, Celia DeBoard and Jeremy Welch asked me to mentor their leadership project, a Veterans Day program. We wanted a keynote speaker, a veteran who embodied the National Honor Society's ideals of academic excellence, service, character, and leadership. Dr. Traynor, you personify these ideals in every facet of your life, and we are grateful that you readily agreed to speak. This is your fourth visit to Oakdale High School for our Veterans Day program. On 2 other occasions, you designated key members of your staff, Wayne Green and Craig Sheets, to deliver the keynote address. Our Veterans Day program is very much your Veterans Day program, and I am most grateful for your support. In my remarks, I have often said that I'm blessed to have so many friends who are veterans. I'm blessed to have so many friends who have served. Last week, I was corrected. We're all blessed. It's really a question of what we will do with our blessings, a question of who and how we will serve others with our blessings. Dr. Traynor, fellow veterans, thank you for your service.
Again, we would like to thank Dr. Traynor and our veterans for their service and for joining us today. We will conclude with Sophia Engel, Landon Radner, Ariel Temby, and Joshua Townsend singing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriots' dreams that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam undimmed